A lot of students don't really know how to start placement preparation. In this video, let's discuss that topic. Hi, I'm Ashish Gourav. I have done my B.Tech from IIT Kharagpur and Masters from ISI Kolkata, and I'm a data science consultant. So, the first thing which you need to prepare for your placements is your written test. And for written test, there are essentially 2-3 types of written test. And if I can segment them in two ways, the first will be the aptitude test and the second will be your coding test. Now, if I have to look at the aptitude test, if you're preparing well for the CAT examination, then your aptitude test will be kind of covered, because all the questions in the aptitude test will be similar to what questions come in the CAT exam. But let's say you are not preparing for an MBA, you are not preparing for a CAT exam, then definitely this step will be a bit difficult for you, because you have to solve a lot of aptitude questions or rather CAT questions without really interested in getting into IIM or MBA. So that is something which you need to do. It's a necessary evil. Now the next thing is your coding. Now for coding test, obviously I can segment coding into 3 categories. The first is the basic level, then the data structures, then your competitive programming. Now depending upon which department you are in, which college you are in, which company is coming for conducting the placement process, the entire coding test will be different. And obviously I am not an expert in coding based placement process, so I leave that aside, but the other things will remain the same. Now what is the next step? You must have done some kind of a project. Now if you have done any project, you have to prepare about your project in 3 kind of ways. Now what are those 3 ways? The first is you must know the description of your project in 1 line, because that is something which will hook the interviewer to that project, to your profile. Second thing is you must have 2-3 lines of the project ready, so that the interviewer does not lose interest if he tries to ask more questions. Then final stage, you must have a 5 to 15 minutes of a talk or a kind of a monologue on your project in your memory. You must be able to talk without any interruptions for 5 to 15 minutes if asked to do so, because that will be a kind of preparation for you if the interviewer is either asking a lot of investigating questions or just wants to know in detail about your project. Plus it also gives you good amount of confidence for an interview. That is why you must do this for any project which you have done and you have written it on your CV or resume. Next thing is your internships. Now the same thing for internship. Again, prepare a 1-liner, a 2-3 liner and a 5 to 15 minutes talk, because your projects and internships are essentially the highest selling point in a placement interview. Because remember, if you are in a college placement process, you might not have good amount of work experience. So the only thing the interviewer will look at as a signaling device for work experience would be your projects and internships. So you must be pretty thorough with your projects and internships. And I have developed this 3-point strategy: 1-liner, 2-3 liner and 5 to 15 minute talk to address that issue. And you must do this, because this has definitely helped me in a lot of interviews. Now coming back to your course curriculum, no matter which degree you are pursuing, either a master's or an undergraduate, a B.Tech or a BSc or an MA or an MSc or an architecture course, I mean, name whatever course you are pursuing. But the idea is you must find your favorite subjects in that course and be very thorough with them, so that if the interviewer asks you that which is your favorite subject, which subject interests you the most, or just randomly asks you something that do you know something which is interesting in your course, in your degree. I mean, there could be many variations of this question, but essentially the interviewer would sometimes like to understand whether you are passionate about the course which you are pursuing, and in that process you must tell him that these are the things which you really like about a subject or subjects in your course or curriculum. Now, the next part would be a very smart thing if you can do that. Avoid your weak subjects or weak areas at any cost. I mean, be very smart in that. And yes, I do not have good strategies about that. I mean, I usually play the honest card that if someone asks me a question which I have no clue, I just say, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know. Oh, I don't have much idea, something like that. But I'm not proud of that statement. You must have a good strategy to avoid your weak areas or weak subjects. Now, this is the rough format of the placement process which you must know, and you must know how to prepare each and every step. These are not very difficult to understand because this is like a pretty standard kind of a thing. But still, if you need help, you can comment down below. And one crucial thing is always keep your CGPA grades or percentage to a decent level. Now, why I'm saying decent and not giving you a number? Because decent varies from college to college, from degree to degree. Because I remember back in the days when I was in IIT, so that's like around 10-11 years back, 7.5 or 8 CGPA was considered decent, and obviously if you had 8.5, it was a pretty good CGPA. I don't know the current scenario of IIT KGP, it could be the same. And for ISI Kolkata, I have just graduated recently. 60% was the decent percentage, because most of the companies don't have a percentage criteria, or if they do have a percentage criteria, it's 60%. And similar for IIT Kharagpur in those days, it was 7 CGPA or 6.5 CGPA or 8 CGPA. I don't remember any company having a requirement of 8.5 CGPA. But still, things could have changed in IIT Kharagpur. So it depends on which college you're studying, and you can talk to your seniors to understand what is a decent CGPA or decent grades or a decent percentage. You must maintain that. And yes, if you want to understand each and every topic which I have discussed in this video, do write in the comments that you want a detailed video on those individual areas. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And also, if you're new here, do subscribe, because in this channel we post content on entrance examination preparation, data science, economics, finance, and everything else related to mathematics and knowledge.